This right here is utterly incredible. I cannot stress how good this is. And if you spend the next, I don't know how many minutes with me and then skip through some things and whatever, you will understand how incredibly good this is. First, we'll take it out of the box. Then we'll look at product shots. Then I will noodle. Then I will talk. Then we do operations. Then we'll do presets. Then we do my profiles. And then you go buy this thing because why wouldn't you? Well, you've seen my excitement. You've heard some sounds. You've seen some clips of a tiny little pedal. Let's get into what the tiny little pedal is and its utter redonkulousness. A while ago, IK Multimedia came on the market with their own profiling platform. Why am I yelling? A while ago, IK Multimedia came on the market with their own profiling platform called ToneX. Software you can buy for $2.99 or something. And within the software, you have access to the Tone Cloud where people upload their own profiles, meaning captures of their amplifiers, cabs, and pedals or combinations thereof. And you could also take those sounds out of the software and your computer environment by loading them into the ToneX pedal, clocking in at $3.99. At $3.99, you also got, ridiculously, the whole software included, meaning technically the pedal cost you $100. Within that pedal, you had 3 presets, and then you next bang. You had more presets. You had access to the whole gain, tone stack, gate, reverb things, and some other things. And it sold out everywhere. It was the thing that you have to have, because previously profiling was gate kept in the higher price range. I like gatekeeping now. It's a word I've been using for days. I don't know why. It's been reserved for the higher price range of the Kempers and Quad Cortexes and so on. So all of a sudden for $400, you could have the wealth of amplifiers that people have profiled the way that they think the amp should be set up and captured and so on. And then people were sharing those profiles like crazy. By now in the Tone Cloud, or I think that's what it's called, there are 22,000 profiles, which is nothing anyone would ever need. It's too much. But okay, people share their amp profiles. Kemper released the Player, I think, their kind of pedal version for $900, $800, $900. Still running kind of the old software. As far as I know, difficult to get IRs into it, blah, 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 blah. I don't know about this stuff, because I'm not a Kemper guy. So people generally don't like the Kemper thing. Which I don't know. But ToneX definitely is still in a ridiculously low price bracket. So why, you ask, would IK Multimedia compete with themselves and make it even better? I mean, better, smaller and cheaper. Because they're nice people that are absolutely amazing. It's way over there and it's tiny. I have 2 of them. So you can set this up as running 2 amps. Right now, this is 2 amps. And it's always on, but you can see the different amps with the colors. I can very clearly see blue and pink. For you, it's a little bit more difficult. Maybe the side cam. Yes, go to side. You can very clearly see what amp you're on. Or you run it in stomp mode, right here. And then you turn it on and off. Better if you're running a drive pedal, which I'm doing right here. This is a Tube Screamer style pedal, and I can turn it on and off. You can, of course, switch the 2 modes on the pedal, and you can actually do a shit ton on the pedal, because there aren't just 2 profiles on this pedal. Let's focus on the one. Thank you. No, there are 20 profiles loaded onto it. Could be amp and cap, could be amp pedal and cap, could be only a pedal. I was skeptical. How do you operate this? Can it run the same quality in terms of latency, ADDA conversion, all this? It's IK. Probably. So I don't think it's going to be less good in terms of fidelity. And I just heard, and don't quote me on this, they told me street price is going to be €179. So you can have access to 22,000 profiles for €179 and have this in your gig bag or on stage and literally have this as your whole rig, or on the smallest fly rig board in the world and have this as your whole rig. Color me skeptical. How do you operate it with an alt button and a foot switch? That's surely going to be cumbersome and annoying. Nope. They figured it out. Well, I mean, it's only mono, right? Nope. I know that at least the output is TRS. Right here, if you put a tip ring sleeve insert cable on it, you have a stereo output. So right on the pedal, I love it. See, on top it says bass, mid, treble. They're bass, mid, treble. See, at the bottom, you don't have to remember that. Hit Alt, it's flashing. Now it's gate, comp, reverb. 6 parameters right there with 3 knobs. Okay, well, there's a 4th knob. Volume/gain. Guess what it does? It is volume/gain. So operation of your profile is extremely simple. Well, but I mean, accessing 20 different presets on the pedal without an interface, without a display, how are you going to do that? Sadly, that's also, I mean, not sadly, it's also brilliantly done. You push both. And that actually works. You push the foot switch and the Alt. Now, one of them is flashing. That's telling you which one you're selecting. You cycle through them with the foot switch. And right now, I can actually change which preloaded preset of the 20 I have loaded into the 2 slots. So you can see I have it hooked up with USB right now. As I'm cycling through this, I'm going through my 20 different presets. Actually only 18 because there's 2 of them loaded. There's this one loaded and this one loaded already. So it doesn't give me those as options. So I want to go back to my Röhrenwerkstatt. And there I am. If I don't have the app connected on the desktop, what you do is this. You go and you cycle until the color changes or the sound changes and until you hear what you like. And you know roughly where your preset is that you want. And that's it. If I want to change the stomp, I go over here and I change the stomp. And you can see that the colors change and so on. So that would be how you do that. Ultra simple. Technically, that would be enough, right? Well, there's also a lock mode, which I accidentally engaged at some time. And you can't actually change any of the settings, which is technically good. And for that, you hold in the Alt for, I think, 3 seconds. Easy. There's a system mode where you change whether the cab is on and whether it is in stomp or AB mode. We're not going to go there. And okay, people, what the fuck are you doing? There's also $479. I'm sorry. I feel this is groundbreaking because it sounds good. It is easy to operate. They understand user interfaces. Also, how do you tune your guitar? I mean, with the tuner, right? Dolphin safe, of course. How about you hold this in? And how about there's an actual really good tuner? Green, orange, red, red. You get closer, goes orange, green. It's pretty damn precise, decently fast. I've been using this tuner for a week. That's included! So I have spent the better part of a week profiling my whole amp rack. And you're going to say, but Henning, you were against profiling. Well, yes, I'm not going to have that whole rant again. I give up. You have spoken. You don't want me to talk about it. Fine. I will not talk about it. I profiled most of my amps, most of what I use. And that is the point. I profiled what I use. So let's say a Rev Generator 120. I didn't profile the clean channel. It is a good clean channel. But if I go to a clean channel, I will go to the Tube Workshop up there, or I will go to the Royalist by Tone King, because that is a pristine clean channel. So why would I use the clean channel in a 4-channel amp, just like I wouldn't use a clean channel in the Engel if I have amps that are designed to have clean channels? And vice versa, for the high gain stuff, I go to what the amp does best. Does the Rev do a great JTM style crunch? Yes, but I have a Morgan MVP66, which does a brilliant JTM style crunch. So I profiled that. So I went to all the stuff that I think I would use my amps for and made profiles. However, it took a long time because when you do a profile, you have to set up ins and outs. I recommend, if you want to do that, getting the ToneX capture, which has the right ins and outs. It's a reamp box. It does a good job. I use that. The capture process takes 5-10 minutes, but then you have to do the processing, the actual AI machine learning thing. And that is running on an NVIDIA graphics chip, which means if you have the highest spec Mac that the market allows right now, and you spend a lot of money on it, it'll still take about an hour on the default setting, because it is not meant for that silicon chip. They are optimizing it for an NVIDIA graphics CPU. So if you have a good NVIDIA graphics card, that takes about another 10 minutes. If not, it could take quite a while. So know that NVIDIA is the trick here. So it took me days to do this, to come up with 30 profiles, which at some point I'm going to work with IK Multimedia on. You can purchase from their site as a whole pack and talk about the ethics of it. I didn't write what amps are in there. We're going to get to that in a bit. We're going to get some sounds. I'll show you operation. I'll show you some amps, and then we're going to go into the presets that come with the pedal and my sounds that you will be able to get at some point. As what comes with the pedal, the pedal comes with the pedal, and it comes with 20 great profiles and a tuner, and that should be all that you need to know. Also, in the profiles include, I think, 4 different stomps, but it also comes with ToneX SE. And if we look into this, collections. So there's the ToneX SE collection, the ToneX and the ToneX Max. If you buy the full ToneX, you get the Max. This, I don't know what you get that with. And the SE is what is included. And there are 32 tone models of Orange because they work officially with Orange. And they officially work with Fender. There's 19 sounds. There's 9 Marshall ones, 20 high-gainy ones, 36 rectifier ones, and 29 classic Fender ones. That is included, and that's what comes with it. You can, of course, always buy more from IK Multimedia. There's ODS Legends, Metal Gems, 100 models, the whole Mesa Boogie collection, which is pretty cool. So all the official, Mesa stuff, officially done with Mesa, you can purchase that, or mostly for free, you can go to ToneNet and get 21,810 different profiles right here. It's loading it. You can load it on the pedal. You can go by 10 most liked, 10 most downloaded. I tried some of them. I'll be honest, it's a little bit ridiculous because you do not know who the people are that made these. You do not know what they used. You do not know their expertise. You might not have to know that, but then you download it and you try it and you're like, well, too much top end, too much low end. Tone King, great. That's an amazing amp, right? I have 2. No, I have 3. That is great. But then you read Neural. So what they did is they modeled the Neural software, or they profiled the Neural software, meaning you have a profile of a very good digital copy of the real amp. So you have a copy of a copy, and you all know what happens when you do that. It might not be the case. I might be wrong about this, but I find it pretty ridiculous that someone would profile the Neural software. I mean, I know that a lot of this is for people collecting sounds. And if you like collecting sounds, download them all. I think you should have the ones that matter. And whatever amp was used, who gives a crap? That's what I think. So I go to Librarian. I go to my tone models. That's what I did. Again, these will be available. And you can see up here what is in slot A, what's in slot B. When I switch on the pedal, you can see that it switches. If I go to Clone Workshop up here, it automatically goes into stomp mode. So you can very quickly check that out. Connection with the computer is extremely fast. You just plug in the USB cable. If I change now to the other pedal, which I could do, and now it's showing me everything that's on the other pedal, which is pretty much in stock mode. So these are the sounds that come with it, but we'll get to that. The connection works really fast, and you will go and, let's say, instead of the Italian chime in slot 1, I want something from the Mesa Boogie signature, Sailing on a River. You pull that into Italian chime, override, and that's it. Now it's in your pedal. Isn't that pretty redonkulous? Of course, I want my Italian chime back in there. And you're done. So let's listen to this. So here's a profile that I call Röhrenwerkstatt. You make of that as you will. I push Alt turn down the reverb, turn down the compression, which I have on. It's a very, very high-end, boutique-y German tube amp. There's also different kind of reverbs. So if I click on my pedal, go to slot 1, which is flashing, go all the way to the left, there's Italian chime. Now I can set that up a bit, a little bit of reverb, a little bit of comp, a little bit more top end. Now with a clean sound like this, do you need to know what amp it is? It's an Italian amp. You can see it at the moment. But if it's good, it's good, right? This is called 70s timed. Very scratchy, very aggressive. It is a channel. It's an amp literally dimed to bits. Now, among my profiles, which you can purchase at some point in time, there are some where I'm telling you what amp it is. And that is only if that amp is not available. If you cannot buy it. If you cannot buy it, we're not actually taking anyone's income away. And that is the Nuno SLO. Now, that is an SLO 100, which I have over there in the amp rack, all the way to the right. But mine actually has a 3-channel switch because there's clean, there's a unique one, and then there's the drive. The unique one is actually the setting that was engineered for Nuno Bettencourt, because this was a proposed Nuno Bettencourt signature SLO. It landed in my hands through serendipity, and I have the only 3-channel SLO 100, I think, in the world with a mid-pushed lead channel that was made for Nuno Bettencourt. Now, you cannot buy that, which means it's totally okay to tell you that you can't get it as a profile because there's no other way to get it. I'm putting on some H90. Just like my good old Hot Rod 50 Soldano way in the background there, right there where my finger is, right that one. You cannot buy that anymore. They don't make it. And even if mine is modded, that used to be a 1-channel amp. Someone modded mine to death with a clean channel, which I profiled and all that stuff. So I have a Dream in Green setting, which is that amp with a tube screamer. Now, another one that you can't buy anymore is the Killer Ant, right there. This tiny little 1-watt masterpiece that my mom got me for Christmas. It was $120. That was black heart amplification. And when you dime that 1 channel all the way up, what you get is this ridiculous rock sound. And now I can share these sounds with you on an album that I did, on the Roswell 6 album, and you'll hear those solos in a bit. I used that amp, even though I had a Soldano, as the amp with all the leads. All the leads were done for this with the amp. That, like this, pushed with an SD1. One watt amp with an SD1 in front of it, super dirt cheap setup, but holy crap, does it sound good. Now, I also went and profiled this amp that technically a guy from a classic band plays, and he's got no fingertips. So this is called No Fingertips, but then you put a fuzz in front of it, and we're going to call it Fuzzy Fingertips. And that is a mean-ass sound. You want to alter that a bit? Of course. Yeah, that's the general idea of what this thing can do. Let's go to a pedal platform amp, which of course I have. It's called Ultimate Pedal Amp. I can't tell you which one. You don't have to know. And now we're going to bring in both pedals again, magically. And you can change, of course, the colors for all the different presets and how they show up. So there's very bright ones and not so bright ones. We're going to go for not so bright. Okay, and over here, we have a tube screamer. I want a bit of reverb. Now you don't want that to be a tube screamer. That is not a problem. And there you are. You have different kind of stomps right now. I made it a fuzz. And of course you can push this into any amp. So if I wanted to push that into that ridiculous Nuno sound, I don't know. gate. No, the sound is still there, trust me. My mind right now is just going and going and going because it breaks every modeler. It sounds better than every modeler when it comes to the amps. It is flexible. It's easy to operate. It is cost effective. It is tiny. You can put that in your bag, in your gig bag. You can even, and that is the only profiler you can literally put in the little case, in your guitar case. Take your guitar out, fold it up, bam, put it in there. Utterly ridiculous. So, we should be done now, but no. Please skip the next sections if you have all the information you already wanted. If information you have now that you wanted from this video with me. But here are all the presets played in succession. The one that comes in, the one where the pedal in comes with. Okay, if you got another 8 minutes, here are 20 of the 30 profiles I made that you will be able to purchase at some point in the collections partner thing on IK whenever we get to it. let's get to the bad stuff. Let's get to the really bad shit, okay? The stuff where you go like, fuck, I'm not buying that shit. Because we have it. We have that point. Right here, you can't see it, is the USB port. Okay? That is stock, blocked with a little silicone tip. You can put that in there so no dust comes into the port. When you take that out, it is not attached to the pedal anymore. You will lose this in seconds. So I'll put this back in there because I don't want to lose it. But that's really bad. And I recommend not buying this pedal because of you'll be able to lose that little silicone port. Don't buy it. Shit. Also, have I mentioned, no, I'm not shitting you, by the way, that you can power this with USB and play it with USB. So you can literally take this on your laptop or a power bank or anything. You do not need further 9 volts to power it. So if you got it on your computer, that's all you need. You do not need 9 volts. It's also a tuner. It's also a Stomp. It's ridiculously good sounding amps. I've been spending, usually I review things quick. I spent a week not doing anything other than making profiles and spending time with the ToneX One. And if you own the software, get ToneX One. If you own the big pedal, get ToneX One. If you don't own ToneX, get ToneX One. If you play gigs, ToneX One. If you practice, ToneX One. You can use the output with headphones, I'm pretty sure. ToneX One. If you are a guitar teacher, you're going to your school, you want to play your amps while you're teaching, ToneX One. You're going over to a friend's, but you actually need your amps with you, ToneX One. You're a studio player, ToneX One. You're a beginner, ToneX One. I cannot overstress the fact that I honestly think, I'm writing them an invoice for this video. Trust me, I spent a week on it. Yes, they're paying for me to do this. They're not paying for me to say this because, I mean, you heard it. I cannot think of a single reason why not every guitar player in any style should not own a ToneX One. This is going to break the market. And if you don't buy one today, through my links below, at Sweetwonder, Andertons, and Toman, I get a kickback. Thank you very much. Please do that. Please support me for my work. If you don't buy one today, I will guarantee you're going to have to wait a long, long time to get your hands on one. People will be hoarding these. I have 2. I'm not selling them. Get yourself 2. Get yourself 1 as an amp, 1 as a pedal. Get yourself more and give them to your friends for Christmas. Get yourself more and sell them to your friends for Christmas. This is breaking the market. I saw this at NAMM under the table. They were like, hey, psh, psh. You know, like Sesame Street? Look what I got. Fabrizio literally took it out of his pocket. Look, and everyone, was it Glenn, Carlos Asensio, and I, we were standing there like, oh shit. Because I knew what this would do to the gear world. It's done it to me. Well done, IK. Buy it now. Use my link. Thanks for watching. Animals at the end.